So good segue. So I'm so glad that you guys, the ones that went, and thank you for sharing for everybody else, whether they're watching the recording or they're here and they weren't able to go, what an amazing opportunity we have if we embrace it. And so last time we did a call, which was last week, we said, where do we want to go for our next part of our 90-day stint here? We have 44 days, you guys, until conference. And if we would spend those 44 days really focused on building our business, and you guys, what a great thing. Now you're in such an awesome industry, and it's not just Juice Plus. It's an industry that really can provide a lot of freedom. So the most important thing when you guys are building a business is you want to be building a really, really good foundation so that your efforts are going to pay off and so that whatever you do is going to be stable and lasting. So I just have a few little ideas I want to share with you for that. One of the things, and I've seen this before, but I loved seeing this again, was one of the presenters says they call this networking. And, any significant income that you want to create, whether it's here or in a different career or your own business, wherever it is, requires work. And I do think that we as Juice Plus people, with our marketing plan being so forgiving, it's really easy to kind of slide along in our marketing plan and just be pretty passive. But if you really wanted to make something for yourself, you would get to work. That's really what it takes. And I think we heard that over and over and over again, is that all of these people that were, especially, the 6 and 7 figure income earners, they really worked hard to get there. And, they're reaping the benefits of that forever. So a large business, no matter what, requires a strong foundation. I put the Freedom Tower up here so you guys can start thinking about building your Freedom Tower, okay? And the wider your foundation, the bigger structure it can support, okay? So you want to think about this. Now, when I first started with Juice Plus, I had the opportunity to have somebody tell me, and I believe it was Jeff Roberti, that he said, go wide. I'm going to give you one tip. Go wide and go wide fast, okay? So I want you guys to write that down. Go wide and go wide fast. Okay, so when we're talking about what we do, I love that we have a mission to share. You guys heard Christy share, she has something she can believe in. That's the mission. But guess what? The mission is our business. And the business is our mission. It's a circle. It's all one. So the more people that you can help, the more that you're going to create a bigger business. The more people that you enlist into that effort, the bigger you're going to have that volume come in, the bigger foundation you're laying, okay? So here's just a little diagram that you guys can see. Go wide, fast, and duplicate. And a lot of people confuse it. They've seen this chart and they're not thinking correctly here. They think, oh, if I sponsor 3, who sponsor 3, sponsor 3. That's really not what this chart is about. It's like if I find 3 workers who find 3 workers, or I find 5 workers who find 5 workers, or 10, you can see how many people are out there sharing Juice Plus. That's what this is. Okay? So for you to go out, so does anybody have any questions on this? Does that make sense? So if you had 5 people, okay, which for NMD, for you to get to NMD, you need to have 5 at least sales coordinator legs who have at least 8 working, okay, that would be the requirement, working distributors. They're duplicating in your downline, okay? And each of those 5 had 5, you'd have 25 people sharing Juice Plus at that level. If each of those had 5, you'd have 125. You take that down to 5 generations, you've got 3,125 workers on your team. Okay, not just people, but workers. Now, for me, when I started, because I had done 7 other network marketing companies before Juice Plus, most of them just as a wholesale buyer, but I did work a couple. I kind of got that things happen. You don't want to just go in, when you guys are laying your foundation, you don't want to just find 5 workers. You really want to find 10. At least 7 to 10, because things happen. Life is life, and you never know when someone's going to have life happen to them, and maybe they go through a divorce, or maybe somebody gets sick, maybe somebody dies. you don't want to lose your NMD structure along the way when you've been working this hard. And I will tell you, it is just as easy to put 10 down in the foundation right now and work with them all together as it is 5. So any questions about that? Who do you think makes more money, 3,000 people sharing or 100,000 people sharing? I mean, we know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I love this chart, and I actually kept this chart up on a board behind my desk just to remind me that I still was needing to talk to people, because, I love, I always keep saying what Mel said, because Mel said, we're just out helping people get healthy and teaching we're helping our friends get healthy and teaching our friends how to get their friends healthy. That's what duplicates. And that's what we're doing. And we're touching lives by being able to do that. If we're by ourselves, we might touch a few people, but when we have enlisted the power of 3,000 people or 100,000 people, boy, just because you shared with those original 10, that's a huge impact on this planet. And you didn't have to do all the work. And it does not have to be that hard because you are not managing 100,000 people. Who were you really helping? How many?
10.
10, that's right. 10 who help you, teaching them how to help their 10, how to help their 10. Now I will tell you, here's just another tidbit, is that you probably, if this is your downline, you probably are only going to be able to really touch your second and third levels, and if you're teaching them to duplicate, they're going to be helping their second and third levels. So that's why we want to really plug them into the team and have that synergy created, because you would not be able to go down there and be doing everybody's work and teaching 100,000 people, but could you teach 10 really well?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you could. So that's how you go fast. That's how these people are doing this. Okay. So again, these are working legs, and guess what? Not all of the people you sponsor are going to work, are they? Have we all figured that out?
Yep.
Okay. So I loved what one person said. She said, when you finally realize that your time is better spent with the people that deserve your time versus the ones that need your time, that's when you finally will start to get this business and make some money. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you'll need to sponsor many more people to find those working legs. I find that it's 1 in 10 on average. So if I sponsor 10 people, I've usually got about 9 raving fan customers or somewhere in between, and 1 person who's pretty jazzed about following me along my path. So I'm going to spend time with the 1, and I'm going to support the 9 if they need it. But my goal is to help them get independent of me so they can take care of their own orders and stuff. And guess what? When I see them start plugging in, then they deserve my time. Okay, so here's some numbers to keep in mind. Okay, how many working legs, sales coordinator legs, did you need to get to national marketing director?
5.
5. But in order to find those 5, I told you it was 1 in 10, right? So 50. Now listen, we have 6 national marketing directors in our team, and including myself, I went through all of us, and we all averaged about 50 to get to national marketing director. Every single one of us. So the quicker that you go out and talk to 50 people about joining you and doing some events together and having fun and keeping it simple, let's go out. Hey, let's do this together. Hey, you know what? I'm doing something at my house. Why don't you bring some people? Oh, why don't you host one now that you've got some people there under you, and I'll come and help you. And then we're helping them get into their friend's house. Okay. So remember, we teach them to teach their person to teach their person. The quicker we get to 50, the quicker we get there. So we want to be inviting people to join us. Now, something about that, a lot of people are afraid to talk to people about the business, and that is a mind boggle for me, because guess what? You got the opportunity to be able to share it with your friends. Somebody told you about the opportunity to offset the cost of your Juice Plus, share it with your friends and people you cared about. Why wouldn't we give every single person that we talk to about Juice Plus the opportunity to do the same and let them decide for themselves? Guess what? That's how I went to national marketing director quickly. Was I talked to people about joining my team. I was so excited about what I was doing because I was excited about what? The mission, right? Do you guys hear that?
Mm-hmm.
And I defaulted them into customers. So they usually would join my team. And if not, they were excited about the product, about the mission. So not everybody joined my team, but almost, you know, most of the people I talked to ended up becoming my customers. By the way, most of my customers have been with me for all 14 years. I'm still getting paid on them from that massive effort in the very beginning. Okay, there's one more number. We heard from people that were making 7 figures, and I'm not there yet. I am definitely working towards that myself. But guess how many people on average in our industry you've got to frontline sponsor in order to make 7 figures? Any guesses?
20?
No.
No, more than that.
No, because you had to sponsor 50 to get to NMD, so it wouldn't be 20.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So it must be a
500.
75. No, it can't be that either.
Average is 350. Why wouldn't it be 500? Because we said 1 in 10, right? Because you're getting better as you go. So it's about 350 to 400. So how fast do you want to make 7 figures? Okay, so remember, think structure, not title. And I know that I'm turning blue in the face right now from saying this again and again and again. I know we all want to walk across the stage as a new senior sales coordinator, as a new QNMD, as an NMD. But I will tell you guys, if you will put those ideas in the drawer forever and just work on building your structure, with the structure comes the volume, comes the title, comes the paycheck. You cannot get to senior sales coordinator, QNMD, NMD, 39 club, 100 club without structure. Oops, okay. So with the structure comes the volume, comes the title. So a better goal for you than saying, hey, I want to be a senior sales coordinator by the fall would be to say, you know what, I really want to help, you know, this, you know, in the next 6 months, I really want to find 3 strong lines that are building with me that get to sales coordinator and have 6 to 8 working distributors in there. That's senior sales coordinator. So that's not that hard when you start thinking like that, right? So then what you're doing is you're backing up, well, what does it take for me to be able to find 3 people that want to work this business and become a sales coordinator? Well, guess what? You might want to set up some coffee with some people and go share with them why you're so excited about what you do and have them take a peek at it. And worst case scenario, they end up as what? Customer.
Mm-hmm.
So from here forward, if you guys would, you know, especially for the next 44 days, is just really be thinking, I'm building my structure. I'm building my structure. Who can I talk to? Who would I love to be able to go to conference with every 6 months and hang out with? Now, what you don't want to do is think, oh my gosh, who is all the whiny friends I have that always have a problem, that never make any money, and it doesn't matter what they're doing. They don't need, they need this business. They do not need this business. You want people that are up to something. You want people that can make a difference, that have a passion, that love to be on the mission with you. That's what you want. That's what you want in your business, is people that are mission minded. Okay. All right, so let's talk business. One is, remember, you're in one, okay? You're in a business. So I would make sure that whatever you're doing in your business day, if you're really thinking about moving your business forward, you know that you've got to find some people to join your corporation. You've got your organization, okay? So you've got to start thinking like that. It's great, you know, to get customers. And, you know, remember that our company is not asking us to go out and get 1,000 customers. They're asking us to love on our qualified business group of customers, because out of that, we'll find people that would love to share it with their mom and their sister and their friends and have a qualified business, right? I love to go out and meet new people that I can help get healthy and that I can share an opportunity with them that they can create an amazing life of freedom. They want to build a freedom tower, okay? You'll need to treat it like one to have a business income. I mean, it's just the way it is. So if, you know, this is a hobby for you, that's fine, but don't complain about your paycheck. I mean, if you you really want business income, you'll go to work every day. Where else could you make an income and not show up? So you'll show up, right? You'll plan out, what are you doing for the next week? What's my business plan for the next 30, 60, 90 days? What's my outcome, desired outcome for the next 90 days? Work in 90-day increments, you'll get there. Okay, so you'll need to think and act like a business leader in order to duplicate. Remember what we talked about before was leaders go first. Are you showing up? Are you the first one to get registered? Are you letting your team know that, hey, you guys, we're going to conference? Hey, here's a great video, watch this. Hey, how can I come help you? How can I assist? You'll need to strategize, get into action to create significant income. We talked about that. And then, of course, the more people you help and the more people that join you in that effort of them also finding people to help them in their effort, the more volume you'll be paid on. And again, with the volume, it comes from that structure, comes the title, comes that paycheck, and you'll get promoted. Okay, you don't want to do it all by yourself. A lot of people come into this and think, you know what, I don't need anybody. I don't need to do this. I don't need to get on the call. I don't need to do that. I don't need to plug my people into the team. And they end up being this little guy sitting on an island all by themselves, wondering why they're having no fun and why their business is kind of stagnant. In the meantime, everybody in the background is building a city of people that love each other, of people that support one another, that are having fun together, going out for drinks together, going to conferences together. You want to plug your people into the team, okay? Because you're on a team, and that team synergy is magical, you guys. It makes it easy for you to not, where else could you start a business and not have to do everything? Nowhere, right? So you get the benefits of kind of being a single business owner, but being part of a huge corporation that everybody kind of gets to play a role, right? And that team means together everyone achieves more, and that's really true. And then most people, they don't have big businesses on remote islands, like I said. Okay, so you've got to plug yourself in. You got to plug your team in. That's going to maximize your time because you want to get those 50 frontline people sponsored as quickly as possible so you can find your at least 5 so that you can move up the marketing plan. Okay, so you can create your freedom tower. And then again, even once you're at National Marketing Director, you can keep adding on to your building. I frontline sponsor all the time because I want my building to be as big as possible. Why? Because the more people I have sharing, the more people that get healthy with Juice Plus. Always comes back to the mission for me. I do like the money though, I do have to tell you. Okay, so this week, make a list of at least 10 people you'd love to be on a mission with, okay? So again, don't be thinking of the whiny ones, okay? What is that next step with them? Should they be coming to an event at your house? Should you be setting up a coffee appointment with them? Should they be watching a video? Maybe there's a Prevention Plus lecture that they could come to. How do you increase their belief, or how do you just have a conversation with them? Maybe it's going out to coffee and just asking them about themselves, and maybe you ask questions and you found out that, they're kind of don't like their boss, or maybe they aren't saving enough money to even go on vacation this year. You've got a solution, right? You can offer a solution. Maybe their kids are sick all the time. You've got a solution, and I bet they know some other moms that would love to have a solution as well. Maybe they'd be willing to help you share that with them, okay? So you want to be thinking next steps too, not just next steps for them, but next steps for you, okay? And, get one-on-one with them, you guys, or get them to a virtual franchise event. Invite them to take a peek at what you're up to. And again, most people are not, 80% of people or even higher are not super happy in their current job situation or would like to make more income, even if they are, by the way. Even like doctors and people like that, they're all trying to figure out a way to have another income stream. Okay, and worst case scenario, if it's not for them, that's fine, but they might know some people that would be perfect for you to talk to. And you could tell them that when you say, look, I'd love to take you out for coffee and really, really excited about what I'm up to. And, we're on this awesome mission of helping people get super healthy. And I'd love to share with you a little bit more about that, a little bit more about what I do. And, it may be for you, but if not, I know you're going to know some people that it would be for. Would you be willing to help me? Could I buy you a cup of coffee? Let's go on Wednesday or Thursday, which works better? So that's all I got for you guys. What do you guys think? Any questions? Comments?
Right. Megan, it's Sue. Can we come back to, I remember all of our MLMU verbiage that we always used for that. I mean, just going back to the whole business about our Juice Plus and walking through all the steps and then asking them if they want to get started with us. Really just coming back down to that conversation for coffee, yes?
Yeah, I mean, again, asking them, you want to be connecting with them, asking them questions. You know, what are you doing for your health now? Have you ever, you know, how are you doing? Are you eating 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables? There's a lot of questions you could be asking and just finding out kind of where they're at in their health, where are they at in their job. So it's, you know, we don't need to complicate it and have a big script we have to memorize. Right. But I think the keys you want to take away from the training that you had, Sue, was like, look, if it's for you, great. If not, no hard feelings. But I think you're going to love it like me. Add that on the back of it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know, let's get together. Now, next week, we'll talk about kind of where we're going to go from there and see how we did. And I think that our tech splits during this week should all be for inviting people for coffee or for business. What do you guys think?
I have a question about the texting, if I
Yes.
may. We were taught through, I think when we were doing the action game, Jennifer had some scripting for the text, and she was pretty adamant in her steps for that the only thing you want to say is, hi, this is Patty. If I sent you a video, would you watch it, kind of a thing?
Now, I personally would not respond to that positively at all. That puts my guard up like right away.
Right.
Like, what are you selling me? That's what I'm thinking. What are you guys thinking?
Right. Well, right. I mean, that's kind of what we had done, and Bobby got really lucky. He got a lot of people to say yes, but then there wasn't any. It was like they went on the witness protection program too. I mean, he couldn't ever get back to them at all. I mean, he got back to them, but they wouldn't respond back to him. So
what if you just set up a time to connect with them and just really practice listening?
Well, that's what I was going to say about what I heard this weekend, was that many people were talking about that it's really important to just say, hey, how's it going? How's your family? How's your friend? Blah, blah, blah. How's your job? Whatever. Gosh, I haven't seen you. You know, can we connect with coffee or, you know, something like that? You know, and then you can go from there. So on the text blitz, what is it called? Blitz, text blitz. Maybe we ought to adjust our verbiage a little bit on that.
I agree.
I'm a little bit,
I agree.
kind of confused as to exactly what we should be texting, which is why I really haven't been on them, because I just felt like I didn't, oh crap, my phone's ringing. That's, you know, I just wasn't really comfortable with that. Hey, this is Patty. You know, if I sent you a 3-minute video, would you take a look, kind of a thing.
They skipped about 4 steps in the middle of that. You know, first of all, I would say your goal is to do one text, maybe one back, and have an appointment. Right? That would be the goal, not to necessarily have this, you know, back and forth texting conversation. That would be the goal. So is to get them in, you know, live. So your goal in a texting blitz is to get them to an event, whether that's one-on-one with you or whatever. Okay. If they can't come, then defaulting them, well, would you watch a video? And can we chat on the phone?
Is that true with people who are out of town too?
Well, I would have a phone appointment. So for example, if Jennifer Rankin was on here, she was with me. I had a gal stop me in the hotel who was not part of our event. And she said, hey, what is this woman's thing? And I said, well, it's network marketing. And she goes, I'm looking for a network marketing business. Are you in one? I said, yes. And she said, what? When I go, well, do you know how people need to eat enough fruits and vegetables? It's really hard to do. She goes, yes. And that's nutrition. I'm looking for a nutrition company. And I said, well, I'd love to share more about, you know, Juice Plus is the company I work for. If I sent you a link, you know, I'll send you my mobile business card. Would you look at it? And she said, absolutely. And I said, so if I sent you the link, I'd love to, I know you're gonna have some questions. I'd love to get your opinion of what you see. Would you have a time when you get home from Vegas next week to chat on the phone? And she said, yes, I will promise you. And she was in a hurry, or I would have kind of made the appointment right there. But she said, I promise you that I will look at it and I will text you back, and you've got my number. Please call me if I don't. So I will call her this week. I know she doesn't get home till Thursday. So I have on my calendar to call her on Friday. And she may go on the witness protection, whatever, but I don't think she will.
Yeah. Yeah, Patty, I agree with you on the texting and how that made me feel. What I heard at this past weekend was people just reaching out and saying, hey, I haven't seen you in forever. Coffee? ? When can we get together for coffee? Like just keeping it really, and then you're able to actually be truly authentic and sit with them and build that relationship. Like if building the relationship and cultivating that relationship is number one on your mind, and then they start, and then they start having, pains or such, you may have a solution for that, but pouncing on them about Juice Plus or being part of this never feels good, right? So if we can focus on the relationship and building the relationship and just saying, hey, can I get together for coffee? Or gosh, you've already had a conversation with them and you're like, I can't help but think about you. I've been thinking about you since our last conversation. You were telling me about your kids were sick. If I shared some information with you, would you watch it? So,
you know what, you guys, I built my business on two questions, actually. You want to know what they are?
Yes.
How are you? Do you know what 99.9% of the people say?
Okay.
I'm okay. I'm all right. And you know what I'd say back to them? One other question. Why aren't you great today? And do you know that almost, again, 99.9% of the time, I got a problem. My kids are sick. I lost my job. I hate my job. It went on and on. And I could eat from right then. I went, gosh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Let's go for coffee and, love to connect more. Or I might just say, gosh, if I could show you a way to keep your kids healthier, would you consider it? Would you take a peek? And I always said, take a peek. And they'd say, yes. And so I'd say, let's get together for coffee. We didn't have, back 14 years ago, there was no YouTube. So we didn't have YouTube links. We had CDs and tapes when I started. We had tapes when I started, believe it, for only 14 years ago. That's so weird to me. But we had tapes when I started, and then it went to the CDs, and then the DVDs came out. So, I always had those on me. Now we're able to send them a mobile business card, or we're able to give them, a link to our website or whatever. But I always had, the key was I always had an appointment before I gave the information so that I could answer their questions and get their opinion. And that was the key. So I didn't say, okay, wait, here's the link. And then I go, okay, now I'm calling them and they're not answering. So that doesn't work. So what I say now is that if I sent you a link, I know you're gonna have some questions and stuff. I'd love to answer those. I'd love to get your opinion. Would you have time maybe Tuesday or Wednesday that we could chat for a few minutes on the phone? What's your phone number? I get my calendar out of my purse, which is my phone, because that's what I use. It's always with me. And I make an appointment. They have it in there. So I invite them. I can even send them an iCal invite, right, to the appointment. So that's how you do it. It doesn't have to be, and the other thing is, you guys, I know we're going past this, but I think this is good. When people get really hung up on the word relationship, I have to have a relationship. Mm-hmm. I would like to change that word to rapport. Okay?
Yeah.
So all you really need to do is establish rapport with people. You can build a relationship after they're on Juice Plus or on your team.
Reagan, that's much better, because sometimes I think when we talk relationships, that's what, then it's 4 months later before I feel like I can bring up Juice Plus if I think I have to have a relationship. Mm-hmm. Whereas rapport makes much more. Mm-hmm.
But Missy, did I develop rapport with you in about 30 seconds inside of a Panera Bread?
Right.
And what did we have before you walked out the door?
I came up to you and said, I need to talk to you.
Right. And I could have totally blown it and went, blah, 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 blah. And what did I do? What did I do?
You said yes.
Let's do what?
Let's talk on the phone. Yeah.
And we set an appointment up, and you walked out the door and I walked out the door.
Yep.
And I was so lucky, and so was Audra, that you answered the phone.
And on that, when Missy approached you in that situation, I didn't approach Missy.
Right.
So she approached me the week I was moving, and she said, hey, I want to talk to you about something that might be right up your alley. Are you open for tea? So she obviously, developed that rapport right away. We'd only met once before, once or twice at the most, but had not had a long conversation at all. So to set up that rapport like you did, I didn't come to you, you came to me. It was very soothing and calming and trusting. So you created trust.
You were drinking.
We were not. It was, no.
And then we did a 3-way call.
It was all about that rapport.
Yeah. And then we got a 3-way call with you.
Yes.
Yeah, because Missy had never talked to anybody about Juice Plus except for you. So I did the work kind of behind the scenes and kind of did the rest of it. But she developed the rapport.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So I just want to change that, and I hope that helps you guys, because otherwise, people are talking, they're dripping. I've been dripping on them for 4 years. I'm like, oh, for God's sakes, they probably think you're so annoying,
And Reagan, I have to also say that, that's really helpful for me because, talking about Facebook and developing this rapport over a long period of time on Facebook, sorry, but I really want to go quicker than that. I don't want to do 7 posts a day. Don't talk about my business, blah, blah, blah. I'd rather just be up front, call these people that I really want to spend time with and that I see potential in, and move forward. I don't want to be on Facebook.
Either in or out for me. I mean, I'm kind of like, I'm busy. I'm building a business here. I'm building a freedom tower, and either, you need more fruits and vegetables or you don't. And if not, that's okay. I'll be right over here when you need me.
Right.
Right. I planted a seed. Or I'll be right over here when you want to come have fun with us and play and go to Vegas with us, right? Or go to, Disneyland. You would be amazed how many people will come back around a year later and go, are you still doing that? Maybe I am interested in it. So, but I'm not going to sit there and worry and drip on the same 5 people for 3 years and not move my business forward. I can go join a new networking group. I can switch gyms. I can talk to a new person at a coffee shop. I can go and get my nails in and talk to the lady next to me. I can go to a Panera Bread and have somebody come up to me or whatever, right? So you have to leave your house to do this though, you guys. Really, it does work to leave the house. Mm-hmm. But with Facebook, you can kind of leave your house virtually, and then your goal is to get with them either on Zoom. I would do Zoom if they're far away, because then you could have, hey, get your coffee, I'll have my coffee, we'll have coffee. Could almost be the same as sitting across the table. So, anyway.
And Reagan, you mentioned about not talking to people over and over again, but they did have that resounding theme this weekend where there was a gal who was talked to many, many, many times.
I didn't say you left them. I didn't say you didn't talk to them again. I said the same 5, only 5 people over and over.
You gotta keep going to other people.
Yeah, I mean, I'll come back, sweep back through once in a while. I'll continue to invite people to events.
Yeah.
And if somebody is, a great example of that, I talked to Laura Colander for 18 months before she joined my team. She kept handing back the CDs she didn't listen to, but she gave them to my husband because she didn't want to give them to me, and I would get so mad that she would do that. But it was, it was in his heart because we're friends, right? I mean, she's the guardian of my kids if I die. So, and eventually I got her to an event. She goes, oh, I'd come to that. And she loved it. So you just never know. So I kept inviting her, but I didn't stop and go, oh my gosh, I need to just talk to these 5 people. And I'm so sad that I'm not good at this. I'm not good at this. Nobody says yes. Well, you talk to enough people, you'll get good enough that people will start to say yes. You'll start to go, oh, I shouldn't have said it that way. I won't say it that way again. I'll try it again.
Yeah. And just because they say no doesn't mean that you're not friends anymore.
Exactly.
Right? Like, you're going to still have that relationship. I mean, that's where the relationship comes in, right? Is like, I can, share Juice Plus with somebody, and 5 years later they can get on it finally. Right. But it's because I continued to have that relationship and not be like, oh, you don't get it, I'm not going to be your friend anymore. Like, that doesn't,
Mel, can I jump in on that too?
Yeah.
Think of our families, right? How many of our families, all of our siblings and our parents all take Juice Plus, right?
Yeah.
Right. And we're still close with our family. I mean, right along that line, they may come back around someday. What was it Sean Meyer said that his mother kept saying to him, when are you going to get a real job? Reagan, how many years did she do that to him?
Forever.
10, 15, 20 years? Did she keep saying that before she ever took the product? So you never know. It's true.
Yeah, it was his Aunt Alice as well, forever.
And
I know one of my very best friends in the whole world does not take Juice Plus, and it pains me. And I invite her, but you know, it's her journey. I have to respect her journey, right?
Yeah.
So
That's right.
You do.
but I'm not going to get sad about it and not talk to somebody else because she didn't get it. So sometimes your friends are kind of stinkers like that, you know, it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. So
Reagan, can you post that that one chart that you said that you hung on your wall with the 3 by
Yeah.
5 10 by? Could you post that on Healthy Bodies or somewhere, please?
absolutely.
Boxer or something.
It is.
Yeah.
It is?
Yes,
I didn't see that.
Where is it, Bobby?
on Healthy Bodies USA
You mean in the tools?
in tools.
Oh, okay.
It is. There is a sheet that says it's if you search width in the tools, it's there. But I will put I'll put a graphic up there.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
And then just one last thing that I remembered now that we're talking about this. They also talked about being a farmer versus a hunter. And you know, that we want to cultivate.
Yes.
versus try to shoot somebody, kill them.
Yes.
You know, hunt them down, right?
Yeah.
Fear them. Anyway,
Yeah.
I think we had a great time.
Well, and again, all of that is, you know, you're going to be asking questions and solving solutions versus, oh my gosh, you should hear all about Juice Plus. It's, you know, 30 different raw fruits and vegetables. You know, that's what people don't like. Versus using, hey, if I could, would you? You know, if it's for you, great. If not, no hard feelings, but I think you're going to love it like me. And then being, you know, look, I'm on this mission and this is why I'm so passionate about it. And I really want you to hear about it. You know what I did is after I went to my first conference, I made a list of all of my best girlfriends that I thought were really smart. And I said, we have coffee? I said, you know what? I need to tell you about Juice Plus. That's why we're going to go to lunch or coffee or whatever, because I need you to know about what it is. And if you say no to it, it will be off my chest. Because if something were to happen to you or one of your kids or your husband, and I didn't tell you about it, I would absolutely feel completely awful. Mm-hmm. And if it's for you, great. If not, no big deal. It's not going to make a huge difference in my life financially. I just think you need to hear about it. So a lot of them joined my team. A lot of them are just customers. Some of them said, yeah, I'm happy with what I'm doing. Okay. All right. Well, so you guys have a great week. Please let me know if you need 3-way calls or anything like that. And we'll see what happens.
Hey, Reagan.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for sharing, too.
Real quickly, Missy and I were talking about 3-way calls. Could you speak to that a little bit? Because we don't have our brain, I don't think, wrapped around the importance of a 3-way call. Can you briefly give a synopsis on
guys,
how powerful they are and how they're used and in what context and how we can incorporate those better into our business?
Solid gold. 3-way calls are solid gold for you in your business because, first of all, your friends don't look at you as the expert, and having somebody else be able to speak to them, first of all, it honors them, you know, that you would be wanting them to meet. So somebody would want to know who they were based on what you said. So it's a lot of edification. And the 3-way call is really just meant to make them, you know, really feel more secure with whatever the subject is. And then also to edify you so that all of a sudden your word becomes credible with them. Especially like when you're talking, like your mom is never going to listen to you, you know, but she'll probably listen to me, right? Or sometimes for the 3-way call, when you have a new team member, to welcome them so that they know it's not just them and you, because guess what? I hate to tell you, but there's a good chance that they're going to probably connect with somebody better on the business side on your team than they are going to be listening to you in most cases, because they like you in your box. They like you as Audra, the person that they know. And then that can get reframed easier when they get the credibility from the third person. So, You know, that's the whole philosophy. Jay Martin says, one person will lie to you, but two people never will. It's good to have an amener, as he says, right?
So how do you invite to those?
Look, you know what? I would love I would love for you to meet my friend, and I have told her all about you. She can't wait to meet you. And you know what? She loves to welcome people on our team. You know, I'd love for you to meet her. You know, when is a good time so we can just connect. I don't call them a three-way call. Like, let's just do a connection call. Or you know what? I know that you know, have some questions about Juice Plus, and you know, I've answered those. But you know what? My girlfriend, she's had the same questions. And she's got a kid with the same things. I'd love for you to talk to her. She'd love to share her experience and what happened with her kid. Would that be helpful for you?
Mm-hmm. That's helpful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So it's really, again, offering a solution. That's really all it is. But I like to do welcome calls with every new person on our team. So I love it when you guys will reach out and do that, and helps connect them. And I love to hear who's on our team because it's exciting. And I'm so grateful to have new people joining our team. So, you know, let's do those. And do them with your upline if it's not me, whatever, right? Good questions. All right, we are out of time. Boxer me, love ya.
We've missed you.
I missed you guys too.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Reagan.
All
everybody.
right, good night, guys.
Love you all. Bye, guys. Have a great week.